And then the body allows the inside you, what a lot of us refer to as the real you, it allows you to kind of interact with the real world, to pick up things and do stuff and to communicate. Sometimes when I think about this, it's so amazing to me. But your body is just an interface to allow you to communicate with this thing that we call the world, the tangible world. This is What You Can Do About Your Health, a podcast about how you can make your body healthy, strong, fit, and inhospitable to disease. I'm Sean McClendon. I'm a certified personal trainer, obviously the host of this podcast, author and health and fitness enthusiast. Thank you for joining me today. The information on this podcast is based on personal research, experience, and opinion, and it's not meant to be a substitute for advice from a doctor or physician. You are advised to consult your doctor or physician before making any changes to your lifestyle. I'm excited about this episode. I've thought about the content of it for like really past 2-3+ days. So I'm excited to record it. But before we get into that, I want to talk about my featured product for this episode, which is my Lean and Tone Online Fitness Challenge. It is available on Patreon, my Patreon page, patreon.com/Sean BTB Fitness. It includes my series of mini workouts, which is 10 to 15 minute body weight workouts that are designed to help you build and sculpt muscle in less than 15 minutes and in the privacy of your home. And if you so choose, little to no equipment is required. And I do update those, or will be updating those exercise routines regularly. It also includes a PDF copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. Because here's the thing. A lot of times we work out, but our diet is trash. And so we can't tell if we're working out, and we get discouraged and we stop working out. But the thing is, your diet makes much bigger impact on your body than your movement, based on the way we live in today's world. So I provide my workbook so that you can kind of gradually make your diet healthier, experience health benefits that include weight, fat loss, and then you better see your results better. And I have a workout schedule that you can use to kind of coordinate the workouts with you going through the 8-week fat loss workbook. Okay, so go to patreon.com/Sean B2B Fitness to learn more and to sign up. As long as you're a part of that, you have access to all of that stuff. Okay. All right. So I want to talk about how your body is an interface. Now, this kind of pulls on some of my experience as an engineer. I have a bachelor's and master's degree in electrical and electronics engineering, and I worked in the field for over 14 years. And in engineering schools, where I first learned about the concept of interface, what an interface is. So the Merriam-Webster definition of an interface is the place at which independent, let me turn my phone down here, independent and often unrelated systems meet and act on or communicate with each other. Again, an interface is the place at which independent and often unrelated systems meet and act on or communicate with each other. So it's essentially like something that kind of bridges two different systems together. So case in point, this right here, my mouse, if you're watching on YouTube, is an interface. It allows me to communicate with the computer. The reason why I was pausing is because it actually allows me to communicate with another interface, with a graphical user interface, GUI. That's how we refer to it as engineers. A graphical user interface is essentially like, all of our devices these days have these windows that pop up where you can click this or push that or whatever. That's an interface that allows you to communicate with some sort of software, whatever the application is you're trying to use. A remote control is an interface. It allows you to essentially communicate with your TV or whatever you're using the remote control for. What's another example? USB cable, a SCSI cable. If you kind of work with computers and stuff, you know what I'm talking about. Any sort of cable that connects one thing to another thing. Like even going back to the mouse, the cable between the mouse and the computer is an interface because it allows communication to and from between the two systems. So in the same way that we have all these interfaces in the real world, Um, well, no, not you. Your body is an interface. Your body is an interface between two systems. Question is, what two systems are those? So, thinking about your whole being, you are, and I'm gonna talk about this, of course, but you are not your body. You're not. Your body is part of who you are, but it's not all of who you are. You have an internal being, which we refer to like as like our spirit. You have a spirit, but then your spirit is inside of this thing, this body. And then the body allows the inside you, what a lot of us refer to as the real you, it allows you to kind of interact with the real world, to pick up things and do stuff and to communicate. Sometimes when I think about this, it's so amazing to me. But your body is just an interface to allow you to communicate with this thing that we call the world, the tangible world. Now, why in the world am I talking about this? The reason why I'm talking about this is because, like I said, your body is not all there is to you. Your body is not like you. It's only part of you. It's like the physical part of you that allows you to do stuff here in the visible, tangible world. But most of us live as if our bodies are just all there is to us. Along with that, most of us live like our bodies, our physical bodies, our thoughts, our feelings, our cravings. We live like those are us. And how do I know that? It's because we react to things when we actually have the ability instead to choose what we do. So understand what I'm saying here. So say for example, and trust me, I understand even with what I'm talking about that there is a difficulty, but it's important to kind of like understand what the difficulty actually is because you can kind of make it simpler that way. So say for example, I've mentioned before in my podcast and elsewhere that my favorite soda is Coca-Cola. And say for example, I just have a craving for one. Now, if I'm just kind of like not really paying a lot of attention, I have a craving and I'll just respond to it, get a Coke as soon as I can, drink it, and then keep on moving. Now, understand this though. When you have a craving, you already know, or even just a thought or a feeling about something, you already know that you notice that feeling, that thought. It's You notice when you have it. You can even notice before you have it, when it's coming, so to speak. So now I'm not the type of person who maybe is as knowledgeable of all uh the the brain science and all that kind of stuff, the biology of the brain and all that kind of stuff, and that whole field. I don't know all the mechanics of how that stuff works, but having a body, I know that I notice whenever I'm having a craving. Think about if you ever played a video game before. Like you see things happen. And it's like, in that sense, it's kind of like how it is for us when we have thoughts and whatnot. We have the controller and we see whenever things are coming and happening and whatnot. The fact that you can actually notice your thoughts, you can notice your cravings, it kind of shows that that's not really you. It shows that you are like higher than that stuff. Okay. And I'm not trying to get weird. I'm just kind of like really, this is something I've thought about a lot, even on my own. You kind of notice that you're higher than that stuff. So that means that you're not your thoughts or your feelings or your body for that matter. However, most of us react like we react to things. In other words, we have a thought, we act on it. We have a craving, we act on it. We have some sort of feeling, then we let that dictate what we do. whatever. And that's just how we live our lives. And so we just react instead of, as people say, responding, versus reacting. We react instead of respond. So, but again, we are not our feelings, we're not our thoughts, we're not our cravings, we're not our bodies, because we can notice those things. But most of us kind of move through life so fast that we react to those things and we don't even really think, even though we have the ability to think. And I'm gonna tie this into the health and fitness thing in a second. You probably already see how I'm doing that. In a nutshell, if you actually notice, take the time to slow down and notice when you have these cravings, for example, if it's like Coca-Cola for me, or white bread, eating late, um, you know, all kind of stuff like that that's keeping you from being the healthy person that you know you can be. Like if you actually notice that stuff, also understanding that you have the power to choose what you do with your life, with your thoughts, with your body, all that stuff. If you notice it, you can take the time to actually make the right decision. And so then it becomes just the simplicity of a binary decision. Binary is like ones and zeros, that computer language, either one or a zero. So then you can make a choice between one thing or the other thing. And then it becomes more simple. Now, I'm gonna say this too. I understand that it doesn't feel simple like that. It really is. But that's where just those feelings and those cravings, a lot of times we lean into those so much that we let those kind of like make us feel like we got to do those things. It's because we're kind of used to operating in that space. But what I'm telling you is, it really is as simple as a decision that you can make. When you first start making healthy choices, especially if you don't have a history of it, it's probably gonna feel very hard. You're gonna have to choose against your feelings first. And I think some of what we end up kind of like getting messed up about is we think we're supposed to feel like doing it whenever we do it. We think that all the quote stars will align and we're gonna feel like exercising when we actually start exercising. Or we're gonna feel like eating a lot of vegetables when we start eating a lot of vegetables. But you're not. You're not. That's not the way it works. Now, the unfortunate thing about living in today's society is that we're so surrounded by all kind of things that are like always appealing to our desires. Always, 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 always. So we just kind of always learn to kind of gratify our flesh all the time. That's why we have so many health issues here in our country that are related to the type of foods that we eat and the lifestyle that we live. So what I'm telling you is, you notice those thoughts, those feelings, those cravings, you are going to have to like go against those for a bit, actively choosing and knowing and sitting with that tension that's associated with making the choice that you want to make that pushes you in the direction of health. That's how it is. That's actually how it is. Even for those who, like I know people look at me as somebody who's so disciplined and this and that. No, man. Like I still struggle like with eating late sometimes, and if it's candy sitting around, I get the same temptation to eat it, and I don't always succeed as far as like passing it by. But there's a tension that you feel when you make a healthy choice. But the cool thing about it though is that as you stick with it, your body will kind of start to align with whatever it is that you start doing, because your body really is just kind of paying attention to you. It's like once you kind of start doing something, your body kind of like turns and it'll kind of lock into that thing. And so you have to have that process of like your body kind of turning like a ship, like a big ship. Your body kind of turns in this direction, then it starts to go in that direction, and you lock in. That's the way it is. So I say this and I let this be it. I really hope this is like sinking in for somebody who's like, I don't really know what to do. I want to try XYZ, but I always feel like I can't do it. I'm just trying to tell you, like, of course you feel like you can't do it because it's not really like what you're used to. It's like it's your habits. And so it'll take a while, but your body will align with whatever it is that you are wanting to do if you just kind of like make yourself aware of your ability to choose that thing and you keep on choosing it. Anytime I have to clean up my diet, which happens periodically, like when I kind of see I have episodes I'm eating too much junk food and desserts and things like that. This is how it is for me. Like, all right, that's enough, Sean. Like, you eating too much ice cream. Like, probably a few months ago, I got to the point where I was consuming too many desserts and stuff like that, and so I was buying too much ice cream and things, and sometimes that sweet tooth stuff will creep up on you if you're not really paying attention, and I wasn't. So I had to back off of it. I had to feel the feeling of going in the store and then passing by the ice cream because I went in that aisle, the same aisle where the ice cream is, to get some frozen fruit for smoothies or something like that, and the ice cream is there. So I just had to pass by, and then I have the thought, actually stop and look at the stuff. That's the dangerous thing. Really, you don't need to even stop. You just need to keep it moving. But having to make that choice, like, I'm not doing it. I said I wasn't going to do it, so I'm not doing it. And I'll say this too. If I tell myself, Sean, no, no more, then a lot of times that really helps me because sometimes I'm avoiding telling myself that because I don't want to make the commitment. But I'm saying all that to say we really have to understand, and trust me, I know because I'm still working on this in health and fitness and even other areas of my life. But like, you have the ability to choose. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your cravings. You're not your body. Those things are given to us, but you choose based on the information that you're receiving from the external world. Your body's not in charge of you. Your body's not all there is to you. And if you understand that, then you can see, oh, okay, it's just information I can use to make me a good decision. I actually want my body to be healthy. So let me use my feelings, my thoughts, or whatever, and kind of see, okay, so is this moving me in that direction? No. Well, so I have to choose opposite of my what my body's wanting me to do or what my body is used to doing. And then eventually, the body will get right. Body, you'll be okay. Maybe you have to talk to yourself or whatever. But it's all about understanding that this is not you, that you're in control of this thing. And once you understand that, you simplify the choices and you intentionally make those choices, you're on your way, man. You're on your way. So I want to hear what your thoughts are, what kind of thoughts have been sparked by this episode. Please comment, please share with somebody, you want, to know this, and somebody, who's having difficulty on their journey. They're kind of having a hard time kind of seeing how it's possible and how they can get over having cravings and whatnot. So please share with them. Please like, subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already, to my YouTube channel or whatever. Make sure you check out patreon.com/Sean B2B Fitness to look at my lean and tone challenge. And yeah, always remember your doctor's not responsible for your health. You are. God bless you.